A lot of dirt clearing. Wow, that's a blind ass hill right there. Man, that really shouldn't be a open-ended turn there. Whew. You cannot see worth the crap up that hill. Whew, man. All right. We're almost at the end of our tour. I'd say we're about more than 75% complete. It's been, and maybe I'll try to make this thing the annual. If not right on Christmas, we'll maybe do it towards the, later part of December every year until the loop gets done at the end of 2021. Be nice if they had some more roads up here that were east to west and not so much north to south, so we could see a little bit better what's going on. Look at, oh jeez, so we can see a little bit better what's going on. But yeah, but it is what it is. So, well, at least there are a lot of roads that go north to south, so you get a little bit of the taste of the construction. So we're looking for Scott Road. What did I write on here? Okay, so we're kind of transitioning into the kind of the not so great. We're going from a really good part of Greensboro to a not so great part of Greensboro now. Oh look, somebody I don't know if you can see it. Somebody put up a little yard sign that helps people get out to 29. That's pretty good. Man, that car about clipped my hood there. Jeez. Things aren't synchronized or what? Anyway. Okay, more urban loop construction here. You know what? Let's actually make a detour here. Could actually, we actually did find East to West Road. Pretty cool. Yay! And by the way, this one was completely unscripted. This was not in the original tour itinerary, I should say. But we found a road, finally. It goes east to west, so we can see a little bit of what the construction is looking like. Apparently we got a car ahead of us and 2 cars behind us. Everybody else wants to see the urban loop too, I guess. Probably not, but it's nice to think that they did. the naked trees. I grew up in Maryland, so in the wintertime, pretty much all the trees were naked. At least here in North Carolina, it's more of a 50-50. That half the trees are naked, half the trees are your really beautiful looking longleaf pines, like some of these that we see on our left here. Okay, so this is oh good. I'm gonna go into this development here and make a U-turn, and this is called Storenton. This development, you want to talk about childhood flashbacks on Christmas? This development reminds me so much of where my grandparents, who unfortunately are no longer with us. Grandpa passed away 3 years ago. Grandma passed away earlier this year. But it reminds me of where they lived from 1987 when I was a year old until 94 when I was 8 years old in Harford County, Maryland, in Edgewood, an area, street called Pier Drive, and they had similar types of houses. They were more the split level kind, but still fairly similar architecture. And then they had the power lines would run in the back of the subdivision. Gosh, at that age, I was I'm still fascinated by seeing power lines, to tell you the truth. I would never want to work on them, but I love seeing them. But even when I was, a year old to 8 years old, those were some great Christmases there at Pier Drive. It's called Storenton. So. Again, another hill there. You have to really watch yourself. Okay. But yeah, it was really good to see this road here. I can tell you. There we go. So. Because we wouldn't have seen that subdivision there. So it's kind of cool. So took a little drive. So now it is Tuesday afternoon, 12:05. And of course, this is Christmas 2018. Encountered a few Gucci birds on the road, but not too many. So this on the right is kind of their base camp for this particular stretch of the urban loop, and wow, this is pretty cool stuff. Wow. Yeah, can you say cut through road? Man. think we see more traffic on that little road in this whole entire tour than anywhere else. Remember Battleground, there's like 2 cars on that whole 4-6 lane highway. Sugars, I think I missed my turn right there. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I hope we didn't get too rural of an area where you can turn around. Isn't that the worst? Anyway, let's see where this goes here. That railroad cross sign, they look at it, you compare it to like a face of Grover from Sesame Street. I think it looks a lot like Grover, to tell you the truth. Corny joke, I know. But okay, so I think we can go. Oh look, where we're at, we're right at Bryan Park. Cool. Alright, so. Big soccer complex to the left here. You know, let's take a look at this. Why not? A lot of teams over the summer. Field's closed to the public because they have a lot of teams from all across the Southeast. All these high school youth teams, what have you, come here and do their soccer tournaments. And for people that live around here, it can be a traffic headache. But for the local economy, it's really a beautiful thing. So, whew, big, whew, man, that's a big dip in that road. Didn't like the way my suspension sounded after that. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah. I'm surprised the gate was open for today. So it'd be a halfway decent place for people to, like, you know, learn how to drive. Especially on a day like today. Oof. Well, I could say the soccer fields are a lot nicer than the parking lot. So if you happen to play soccer here, it's a good thing. But if you're like me and you're just like taking a driving tour and you're not very athletically inclined, yeah, not so good. So. Okay, there we go. There we go. Back to where I need to be now. Still, if we missed that, I'm glad we missed that turn back there. Because we wouldn't have seen this big soccer complex, state of the art, man. So I just had to find a way to cash it. What was I saying? Something. Anyway. Oh, Christmas present. Mental note. I'll tell you, the thing I like about Greensboro is it definitely has its it's got a little bit of suburban sprawl, but compared with a lot of other cities, it's really not that bad. Because where we are right now, we're like just about on the city limit, and look how rural it still is. So they've done I'd say a pretty good job with that rural boundary in the city's comprehensive plan. Okay, now we are back to where we should be on the Urban Loop tour here. Let's see. And best thing about the rest of the tour, this street is going to end right at a stop sign at a T-junction. And we'll turn right on the Summit Avenue. Somebody made a homemade sign. I wonder if it's the same person had the I-29 or to Route 29 sign. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I can see why they had that sign there, because it's a huge downhill, and then you go from 45 to 20, 45 to 35. And so if we were to turn left here, we're going to turn right, but turn left will take us out to Route 29, which is really a big, busy freeway on the east side of Greensboro. That's where the current east section that was finished last year is going to link up with this under construction segment and be complete by the end of the year 2021. So. And this part here, there should be some sign of where the loop's going to go. Somewhere along here. Okay. And again, if you were to turn left at this light, like where this truck is, that also takes you out to Route 29 as well. Gas has really come down, which it supposed to. Because it was $2.29 at the station out in my part of Greensboro just a couple days ago. Now it's $2.15. I hope, that the station near where I live is about the same price. Okay, so here's the the last section here of the urban loop. The last portion that we're going to see in the tour is right back there. I was thinking about turning off, but I was like, just didn't. The roads look pretty crappy out there. They're like little neighborhood dirt roads, so no thanks. Family Dollar back there, yeah, they're open on Christmas. Family Dollar, Walgreens, and maybe Dollar General. Fortunately, the company I work for, which is a large retailer, has the sense and the decency to close. So thank you, Sam Walton. And then we're talking about gas. Oil's at $45 a barrel, and it should be wholesale gas, which is gas that comes directly from the oil well, the oil company, before you add on taxes, state and federal taxes, cost of distribution. Taking it from the oil well to the pipeline out to the gas station. It's sitting at like $1.35, I believe, last I checked. So here in North Carolina, it should be about, I think we pay 54 cents in federal and state taxes combined. So, I mean, yeah, gas prices should keep going down and probably fall to like $1.85 or something a gallon, which would be great. The rest of this video, we pretty much wrapped up the whole urban loop construction. The rest of this video, basically, I'm just going to take you on a little tour of the way that I get across Greensboro right now. Before the loop is, while the loop is under construction. The way I get across Greensboro. And this is not the official way to get across Greensboro, because we're north of the city center. But based on where we are in Greensboro right now, north and east, this up here is how I get across Greensboro right now. If I were south and extreme south, I'd be able to take I-40 or the southern urban loop. Right now we're going to take Cone Boulevard. And we're still actually going south right now. We haven't turned west yet to go home. You notice this wide street here. This is kind of weird. It can be, maybe it was at one time, before they built 29. Which I believe they built back in the 60s or 70s, so it's been a while. But maybe this used to be like 2 lanes each way. But there's no parking sign there, so it's kind of weird, because you would think they would use it for parking now, but now it's just like extra pavement, I guess. Oh, cool, the Greensboro skyline up here. So even though it looks like we're far away from Greensboro, far away from the central district, aka downtown Greensboro. We're not as far as we could be. I think this is Cone up here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Cone. Okay. It's funny how people are. It's like when you want to turn right, everybody's in the right lane. It's like crazy. Wow, Roses. That's wow. Roses is in its heyday, like back in the 80s and 90s, before Walmart really shook things up in retail. There were Roses up and down the East Coast. I remember quite a few where I grew up in Maryland. There's one in Denton, West Ocean City, a couple in southern Delaware. Now it's pretty much just they've scaled back to just their core market, which is North Carolina. They're owned by Variety Wholesalers, which is owned by Art Pope, who is he's a huge donor to the Republican Party, and he's also a big national Republican Party as well as the state, the North Carolina Republican Party. So there's another political lesson for y'all today. Political trivia on Christmas. And if y'all have any I'm going to try to release this today when I get home, this video, so we'll see. If you hey, you can bring it up at Christmas dinner. Let's talk about roses and Art Pope, and I'm sure that your whole family would love to see this, hear that, excuse me. This is another usually fairly busy road, but because it's Christmas, it's fairly light. So, and it's another one of these roads. I do not know why it's only 35. It should really be 45. It's some of these speed limits are fairly low. When I lived in Wilmington, and I was a pizza delivery driver for pretty much all my time there, your main arteries, your major artery roads, the speed limit on those roads would be fairly good. They'd be about 45 or so. But your residential streets, they were roads that were designed to be 35, but were really 25. So it's weird. Philadelphia. Looks nothing like it, does it?